like glowing. If you're getting them, I'm getting them. Hi, hello, and welcome to The Bookish Life.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Tori. And in today's episode, we're going to chat all about historical romances, which is something we both haven't really read a lot of in 2023, but we're changing that in 2024. We definitely want to read more historical romances. We're going to chat some of our favorite authors. We're going to chat some of our favorite historical romance books, some that we want to read, and then authors who aren't writing as much that we wish did write more.
Well, because I don't know what's happening with publishing right now, but we will get into it. But I think it's been a trend, not a trend, but like a bunch of us that were like hardcore into historical romances didn't really read it a lot last year, which is very sad. I think I read maybe 20 out of the 250 books I read last year. So
I don't think I read any. I read one. I lied. I read one.
Which one did you read?
It was a Stacey Reid one.
Oh, which one? The Wolf and the
No,
Wildflower?
The second one.
The Overboard retelling? Oh, yeah, and you didn't like it. I really like that one. What, A Matter of Temptation? No. An Earl to Remember.
Yep. That one.
An Earl to Remember.
And
that was so good.
I just didn't like it as much as I wanted to because I was hoping that would like spark me to try and like read more, but it unfortunately did not.
Yeah. I mean, I always have my book club. So I have historical Hellions that I have with Samantha. So I've read at least 12 last year. Well, 11, because our book club for December is this Saturday, which we're reading To Find Out the Heart, which I'm 10 pages into, and the live show is tomorrow, but I will read it and finish it. It's a Joanna Lindsey though, so I'm very excited. I like Joanna Lindsey, and I feel like the older historicals are giving me the vibes I want, and the newer ones aren't, because I don't know if you're caught up on Harper St. George's series.
I want to read that one next week.
I'm over halfway through the audio and I'm not loving it. I'm so bored.
No.
And I don't know if I like put too much expectation on it, because I'm like, this is going to make me love historicals again. Like, it's going to put me in the mood, and it's so boring.
No.
But I feel like a lot of recent ones have been so boring, except for Stacey Reid. I read 2 of her new ones last year and I loved them. Like the Overboard retelling, I literally listened to that in one day. It was so good, even though you didn't like it.
I don't remember anything about that book. Now, I gave it like 3.5 stars. If I don't really remember anything like amazing or bad, it's probably just like an average, book for me. So we're doing a collab next week.
Yes, the one I put together.
The one you did actually put together. So a bunch of booktubers. How many did you say? Over 12?
Like
something
10.
Like that?
Yeah.
Something like that we're doing a reading vlog where we read historical romances. During that collab, I've already put together my TBR because I want to start loving more historical romances, especially because I redid my library and I pulled out all of my historicals to move them. And I was looking at all of the ones that I have. I'm like, oh my God, I miss the times where I would read just like some of my favorites. So I'm starting with Devil in Winter by Lisa Kleypas. Now that was a beloved Lisa Kleypas. Yes, I love that. It's one of my favorite Lisa Kleypas books. So it's going to be a reread. And so I'm hoping that starting with a reread will like spark something, because I loved that one. And I think about that book like a lot. I do definitely think about that. So I think I'm starting with that one. I have Lorraine Heath's second book, The Something of Lord Knightley.
That's the latest one she has out. Yeah.
Yes, because I looked up ratings, because I have both, the first and the second in that series. And the second one has better ratings and more ratings.
Oh, interesting.
So than the first book. So I want to read that one. And then I think I was going to read the Harper St. George, but I might have to change my TBR around if you're not liking it.
I feel like books 2 and 3 in this series were just so good. And because I liked book 1, but I loved 2 and 3. And this one, I'm just like, nothing's giving me nothing.
Nothing. I might pick up the Joanna Lindsey and see if I can like start a couple pages today and see how I like it. And I might read it for your live show tomorrow.
Okay. When's the last time you read a historical Hellions book?
I don't know. I know you asked me. You keep asking me, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I don't want to commit and then back out if I don't like it or if I don't read it.
That's fair.
I feel so bad.
I mean, and ours are very hit or miss because I think October's I DNF'd. It was so bad. But then November, that was the Wolf and the Dove, which was a ride in itself. But like, I like reading them for like history. Like, these are like the iconic bodice rippers from that time period, which is why I like reading Kathleen Woodiwiss. But
Yeah.
I think for my reading vlog, I'm reading these two, and then I might read some old school ones just because like that's what I really want. But I really want to read Diana Quincy's because she's still writing really, really good historical romances, and I've loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know that like I might either do a reread of The Hunter by Kieranberg because that's also one of my all-time favorite ones.
Yes. I was thinking of rereading some of hers because it's been like 3 or 4 years since I've read them.
Yeah. So I want to start with like some of my OG ones that I know I loved and like I know the plot like still in my head. So I know I'm going to love those and hopefully that will like help me like
get back into it.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm also thinking Bridgerton coming back, which I'm surprised that the Queen Charlotte didn't spur me into another like obsession.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Oh, it's really good. It was really good. Yeah. But maybe it coming back, is it what, April, May, will help get us all excited again. But I don't know, because it's also Colin and Penelope, who were one of my least favorite couples in the Bridgerton series when I read the series. So
yeah,
we'll see. They skipped Benedict, which is really sad.
Well, they might do him next season.
I don't know. His romance doesn't seem to fit his character in the show.
I didn't read past book 2, so I don't really know.
Okay.
I know. I guess we'll start with some of our OG historical romance authors. Like I know we've talked about a couple of like our go-to, but like name your like top 3 ones that you like all time love.
Lorraine Heath is so angsty. Her I don't even remember the title of the series, but like there's one where they all grew up in the streets and like I don't remember what that series is called. And then she has like an amnesia one, and she has the red dress one. What is that even called? I don't remember. But they're I'm looking at them right now and I don't.
The Duke and the Lady in Red.
Yes. They're just like so angsty and so good. And I love her so much. So I miss reading her books and how much I love them. Beverly Jenkins, also love, but she has not published in a while, a historical, and I don't know what's happening. Same. I feel like for like contemporary historical romance authors, Joanna Shoup is another like all-time fave. And I literally just looked at her like an hour ago. I was like, we haven't had a new one from her in a while, and she hasn't posted about anything coming out. So I'm like, is she not writing historical anymore?
Well, she's doing the
but she was doing that already with her other stuff. I mean, she was only doing a book a year with Joanna Shoup.
That's true.
It makes me so sad. But yeah, those are and then Stacey Reid, but that's in number 4. I love Stacey Reid.
Okay, my top 3, Lisa Kleypas.
Though she's not writing anymore either.
No, she's not. But I love her stuff. Her stuff is so just like, it's like not the newer stuff, but it's like the Regency stuff that I love.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love like
there's just something different about the romance. It's just so like all encompassing.
Yes.
Ugh. Yeah.
There's so many books that like I've read that I loved, like Devil in Winter and Marrying Winterborn. I mean, obviously it's like Sebastian St. Vincent is like the dad in Devil in Winter, and then Marrying Winterborn is like his son, which love those two. Kerrigan Byrne, but she's kind of like I don't know if she writes anything anymore.
Didn't she come out with a contemporary recently?
No clue.
I'm pretty sure she did.
No clue. But I do love The Hunter. Oh, The Hunter is the best. Oh,
The Highwayman is one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, I think I read The Hunter first and then The Highwayman. I can't remember the order, but I definitely love her stuff. I do love Joanna Shoup because I love the Gilded Age. It's one of my favorite things to read. In historicals. I don't know why. I know you don't love the Gilded Age as much, but
I don't like America, but
I don't either. I don't like Westerns.
I do love Joanna Shoup's Gilded Age stuff. Yeah.
I think it's because the women in those books, it's just like the time where they can start and like push the boundaries of what they can and cannot do, or the things that they've not been able to do previously. And they're like pushing that boundary. So they're a little bit more,
they have more agency.
Yeah. But like, what was the one that, Joanna Shupro, where she goes to that masquerade. It's like a French risque masquerade party. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's in her new series. And like it wasn't the one where like she was supposed to get engaged, married to that guy. And he's like, I'm not going to marry you. Like I'm not following what our parents like made. She's like, fine, I'll go and have a good time then. And like met him at the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I loved that one.
Yeah.
So those are some of my top 3. I mean, I do have a lot. Like, I want to read more Kat Martin, but I don't know if hers are hit or miss because we read that one, Midnight Rider.
Night Secrets was so good.
Oh, no. Night Secrets. That's what it was.
Night Secrets was the one where he gets in that shipwreck.
Yes. And there's like a bathtub scene and he's injured. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Midnight Rider, I don't think I loved.
I don't remember
because it was a cowboy. And I don't love Westerns. I loved Lorraine Heath's Western. That one was really good, but that was because it was a brother's fiance one. Like he was escorting his brother's mail order bride home and like fell in love with her, and I'm intrigued by the rest of the series. But Kat Martin's definitely one I want to read more of.
I do want to read more Scarlett Scott because I was watching Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings, her top videos or her top books of the year video, and she said that she read a Scarlett Scott that was on her list. And I know she loves Scarlett Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to participate more in like her and Lisa's book club because I haven't, like, they started that book club when I stopped reading historicals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to read more of like because they read before
Lisa's,
you read after 2000, right? Like before 2000?
Yeah, they read after. Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Lisa's recommendations are always very hit or miss for me, so she recommended me. She actually recently told me to read these, they're actually really short, and but it was a good recommend. So it's The Footman and I by Valerie Bowman was one she recommended to me that I loved, and she recently binged like another one of her series, and she's like, oh my god, you have to read these. So yeah, I feel like I more so like Lisa's historical recommendations and then we're like opposites on contemporary. So
her reviews on Goodreads make me giggle.
They're just so funny. Yeah, but she's also getting into them.
I want to read more stuff like Hannah Harrington, like that one. I remember you read it and I read it and I was obsessed.
I love that one. What was that called? The Duke. Oh, If the Duke Demands. Oh, that was so good. See, like I was like so obsessed and just so immersed in the historical romances that I was reading. And I just like have not felt that. Like even last year with all the historicals I read, none of them made me giddy except for Sky O'Malley, which I was like, this is literally like the best thing I've ever read. But like then anything I read, if it doesn't like live up to that, I'm like, oh, this is so boring.
Yeah, I know.
And I feel like too many of them are boring. But
like I remember The Perks of Loving a Wallflower, Loving a Wallflower by Eric Ridley. I remember reading that in one sitting and I was like, this is so good.
Yeah, but I didn't like Nobody's Duke, which was book 3 in that series. So I'm hesitant to read her next one. I did get Kate Bateman's new one, and she usually has really, really good ones. So
I have a Daring Pursuit. Is that her new one?
No.
Okay, I think I have that one. I haven't read that one yet. Oh,
Second Duke's The Charm is her new one.
Oh, I've never even heard of that. But Kate Bateman is another author that I absolutely loved. Like what is the princess one? The Princess and the Rogue. I loved that one because it's like an Anastasia retelling.
Oh yeah, and she has indie ones that she's written. So the Phantom one was hers that I loved. Talked about it. It's a novella. It's really cute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just like so many other ones that I'm like, I wish because I just read a cowboy contemporary and I'm like,
That's how I've been feeling about contemporary lately. And you're going to hate me. I read Butcher and the Blackbird.
Stop.
And I'm giving it 4 stars. Okay. Because the romance was just like too sweet. I'm like, give me some angst. Like, okay, you love each other and like that's it. Like I need so much more of my romances now, and I think it's partly because of Manacled and how like I have not been the same since I read that book, and I just want everything to hurt me the way that did, and like nothing is. And I don't think that's the point of romances, but I'm just like, give me a little bit something more.
Listen, I have been telling you to read the whole Boys of Tillman series. If you want something that's going to hurt you like Manacled, read that series.
I know. I will. And the other 2 Daisy Hates books, Magnolia and Daisy Hates.
Like you keep saying, I wish I had books. I'm giving you books like this.
But like then I'm reading other stuff and it's just like, it's cute. Like how I felt about Done and Dusted. I'm like, it's cute.
Well, I read we're getting off topic, but Fear the Flame. I read that one. It was so good.
I'm excited. So, and I read like The Ever King and I was really bored. So like, but I feel like I'm reading these books that like other people love. And I'm just like, so I don't know if it like, it's coming back to historical romances. I don't know like if it's just me. Like, I'm just hard to please. And I'm like, I'm never going to find anything I like.
Yeah. I mean, like, is Fear the Flames, I gave it 5 stars. Like, is it on the same level as like Manacled or Redeeming 6 5 stars? No. But the writing was good. I had the best time. I love the female character, how she'd like take no shit. She's strong and she's actually strong. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't become like fickle. Okay. Halfway through. Yeah. And there's dragons that come out at the end. And I think
the romance is good. I saw your TikTok you did, your reel.
Oh my God. He is so like, he's like the typical book boyfriend. Like, he's just so swoon worthy. And I love that. But it was definitely her story.
Okay. I am loving Powerless.
Oh, good.
By Lauren Roberts, which is also fantasy. Because there's also like a lot more to the plot. Like my problem with The Duchess Takes a Husband right now is like they just like sit around and talk. And I'm like, let's go do something. So that's why I love like Amanda Quick. Yeah. So good. Oh my gosh. You know what you have to read? The one by, oh my gosh, what's her name? He's blind. No, Teresa Medeiros. Years Until Dawn. He is blind.
Oh.
And she is his maid. Like she gets hired to like help him as his maid. Oh my God. That reminds me of so
the Tessa Dare one.
Yeah.
Tessa Dare.
Romancing the Duke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like nobody, like Tessa Dare is so good. And like reading her backlist, like when I was reading through like Lisa Kleypas's backlist, Tessa Dare's backlist, I was like, these romances are just so good. And I just, I don't know.
You know who Crystal put in one of her top books of the year video? I can't talk today. I'm sorry. She put Sarah McLean's new book.
I've never liked Sarah McLean's books that much.
I liked her stuff. I've read all of her stuff. I'm just not caught up with her
just
new
like
stuff.
Well, I liked her one series, like the 10 ways or 9 rules to break when romancing a rake. I liked
and then
that
they redid
series.
The covers.
Yes, I liked that series, but like her new stuff is just very contemporary, and like the more contemporary a historical romance author writes, the less I like it. So I haven't been loving her. Like her Wicked and the Wallflower and Brazen the Beast series I haven't liked. And I don't know.
I love that series.
I don't remember if I read the first one of her new series. But like Elizabeth Hoyt's not writing either. Someone told me that Tessa Dare's new one's supposed to come out this month. And I was like, no.
I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
That date is still a placeholder on Amazon. I don't know if they changed it, but I was like, that's not happening. No. And like Maya Banks, her Highlander series, and she hasn't written anything anymore. Like,
she has a medical reason.
Yeah, but like she hasn't written in years.
Yeah.
Years. Like,
I love that series.
A decade.
Oh, yeah, I love that series. I want more stuff like that.
Which I don't know if now I have to like start looking indie because Lainey Hatcher she's an indie romance author, and I have one of her books and it sounds really good for historical. And like Grace Calloway, I really liked. Hers were like Charlie's Angels inspired, which are really fun.
I didn't like those that much.
You didn't like the Olivia and the Masked Duke?
No, I didn't like it.
Fine. Third Degree Yearn by Lainey Hatcher I have. So I really want to try. I think I need to dabble into the indie ones because that's what Scarlett Scott is. And Elisa Braden. I really want to read Elisa Braden, but the audiobooks have such a thick Scottish accent and I can't listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to physically read hers. So yeah.
Yeah. I just feel so sad because I used to love them so much. And I'm like, do I need to go back to like old school, like Julie Garwood old school?
We're reading The Gift next month and I'm so excited.
Okay, so I have that. I think I physically have it. Yes, I physically have it. But I also got it from my library. The ebook.
Okay.
What is this one about? Like, do you think I'll like it?
It's a pirate.
Oh.
That's all I know. It's a pirate romance. Those used to be my thing.
I know.
I loved pirate romances.
Like, I just remember when like Step Back Saturday on Instagram was like the biggest thing ever.
No, like did not skip a single Saturday. I would have mine every single Saturday. But they don't even make those anymore. So it's just like the magic of historical romances, I feel like it's being lost with publishing today. Like we are lucky to get Joanna Shoup's previous series covers. And that was because of COVID. They took them from stock of a different author's unused photos because now we have those dumb illustrated covers and I hate them for historicals. I'm like, this is not the sweeping historical romance we want. And then I feel like whenever I see that, or the cut off head ones that Bridgerton made popular, which is also very annoying, like when I see those, I'm like, oh, that's just going to be like a boring contemporary written historical romance.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know who I was very impressed by was Adriana Herrera. Her Island Princess Starts a Scandal. So good. It was a sapphic one. I loved that one.
I have the Caribbean one.
Yes. I need to read that one now. But like, I'm excited if they let like new authors write historicals, but I don't know. We need more.
Yeah.
And Beverly Jenkins did say like publishing was being weird about wanting historicals when I saw her in Denver. So
I'm like, if we need to make them come back, like if it's like readers, we need to like
come together.
Show publishers. Yeah. Like come together. You know who read a lot of historicals last year? I was surprised. Alexandra.
Yeah. But she was reading like what we had already like fallen in love with like 3 years ago. So she was like deep in her Lisa Kleypas and deep in Joanna Shupe. And I'm like, oh my God, cool. I remember that.
It's cool to see that because I was like reminiscing. I'm like, oh man, I wish we could get historicals like that. But it's also hard to find, like, we don't have as much time to read as what we used to.
I've noticed every single person I watch, and including me, like we were reading so much less last year than we have any other year before.
Yeah. And I don't think it's because like, obviously we both changed careers. I don't think it's that. I think honestly, because other people, I really think it's because people like started to actually go back to like their normal quote unquote lives, like pre-COVID.
Well, and another thing is travel. Like, so we can like travel so much, like it's just normal to travel now, and we weren't traveling as much 2020 to 2022. So I know I slowed down reading. Yeah,
if we did, it was just like one trip, and then we stayed home for a while to make sure like we didn't get sick and stuff like that. But like I think me and you traveled almost every single month last year.
Yeah, and I read maybe I'm lucky to get like a book done on the plane.
Yeah, that's a big maybe. Yeah. But also it's one of those things too, is like before the trip and after the trip, we have to catch up on filming and content and work. Oh my God, yeah. So then we don't have a lot of time. But like I don't have time to like weed through every historical that's out there to pick and choose like the best ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want someone to like tell me the good
this one's good, go read it. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with fantasy. Like I read Fear the Flames because Rachel loved it so much.
Yeah. I mean, but I've been reading things that everyone loves and I haven't loved it. So I don't know.
Is it you? Are you the problem?
I think I'm the problem. I haven't had a 5. I mean, I've only finished 2 books completely, but like my Harper St. George isn't a 5-star read. So Powerless might be 5 stars. We'll see. And then I'm reading Carrie Maniscalco's new one. So.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. After reading everything, I have to read so much.
I'm reading Atalanta by Jennifer Saint.
You didn't look up how to say it?
The audiobook says it like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm listening and physically reading along. That's historical fiction, kind of. Not really. It's Greek mythology, like retelling. She's like under Artemis's wing, like Artemis brings her up, but she's mortal. It's really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I like Jennifer Saint, so. Like I'm reading different things, so I'm like, I need to figure out what's going on with me.
Yeah. I don't know. It just makes me sad. And I want to like really love historical romances again. But like, do I go and read my old favorite ones?
I'm rereading one to hopefully like spark that. Yes, do it. Here you go.
Yeah. Or do I dive in? I have so many historical romances that I buy mostly for the cover and the step back.
Yes.
And I'm like, do I dive into those? Are there any? Well, like, so Scarlett Peckham, I loved the recast. I don't think you liked that, did you?
I think I gave it 4 stars. Like, it was okay.
I loved that, but people didn't like her
new one.
Which
Portrait of a Duchess.
Yeah. I think. But people didn't like the recast either. So I remember it was on people's like least favorite of the year, and I read it and I loved it. So, but like she hasn't written again. I'm just happy like at least Diana Quincy's still writing because she's relatively new with her historicals, and I love hers, but I feel like it's just so rare now. And I don't see like the publishers really pushing them that much, which also makes me sad.
Do you know who I wonder is still writing? Eva Devon.
Is she?
Well, you know, I read The Spencer and the Rake, and that one was so like, oh my God, I remember reading that. And I'm like, this was so good. I loved it so much.
I don't think I liked that one.
No, he has basically like what autism is.
Oh, I did like that one. Okay.
Yeah. I just don't know if she's writing again, and I miss it. I'm tempted to pick up Devil in Winter tonight.
Do it. Her last book came out in October.
Oh.
The Rake and the Rose, but I don't know if it was with a publisher. But I have noticed a lot of historical romance authors publishing indie, like that's what Stacey Reed was doing with some of hers. But like, when was the last Avon historical romance?
I don't know. Do you usually get those from them?
It's hit or miss whether I do or not. Entangled, I will usually not get either, which is sad because Entangled does Stacey Reed and I really like them. I think Source Books still does some historicals. There used to be new ones all the time, and now I barely see any coming out in a month.
That's why I'm like, do I go old school or new school? What do I do?
I don't know, but then they put these stupid stickers on them that say larger print, and I'm like, stop.
Oh, yeah, I don't like those. Or they went back from doing the mass market max to normal mass market again, and I'm like, you've ruined my fucking collection.
Yes. Well, it's just annoying because I think they don't know what to do with historical romances. So they're like, people aren't reading them because of the covers, so let's change them. And then they're saying they're not reading them because of the size, so let's change that. And like nothing is working. And it's really annoying.
Yeah, makes me sad.
But I was like, there's a whole crowd of us that loves what's already out there. Why do you keep on trying to change it? Because they're not marketing to us.
Yeah.
They're marketing to people they want to pick it up.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
I'm just hoping that this reading vlog will spark me to read more historicals because I do miss them. But if you're a historical romance reader and you have any recommendations that's like similar to Kerrigan Byrne, Lisa Kleypas, Bev Jenkins, let us know, please, in the comments.
Yes. Well, see, like even Lenora Bell had her new one come out. That was because she's still writing.
The Devil's Own Duke. Is it that one? I have that one.
Nope. You're the Duke that I want. It's her Grace retelling. It came out in December. Yeah, but like I don't think Christy liked it. I think it's like really, really Grease, which I think is fun because I really like the Overboard retelling. And Lorraine Heath actually had an Overboard one too that was inspired, which was really good. I do think it'll be interesting to see. Well, so I'm a little wary. So Kathleen Woodowitz, all of hers are on audio now, which I think is really cool that they just released all of her old ones on audio. Now I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say it's really, really sad that historical romance was basically like what boomed romance in general, right? Like it was the 70s. It really like blew up the genre for that time period. And now like barely anybody reads historical romance. So it was like, it was just so iconic for so long. Like what happened?
I just think there's so many other things to read.
Yeah.
Like there's so many genres of subgenres of romance
but there's so much potential because like Pam Godwin with Sea of Ruin, like you can do so much. Also, I saw someone put that in their top fantasies of the year and I was like, did you read this book?
That's not fantasy.
No. And
you know what? I would
top fantasy.
I would even argue that like Divine Rivals isn't a fan row.
No, it's not. That's why I didn't like it.
Well, people label it as that, and it gives me like Belladonna isn't. I don't know. I guess you could call it more fantasy because like he's literally like death incarnate type of a thing. Like he's a fantastical being, but like it's more of like an enchanting and magical romance.
Yes, because the fantasy wasn't like a central part of the plot. Like the war was, which was a fantasy war, but like we didn't really see.
But like humans were fighting.
Yes.
On behalf of the gods.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the second book, you see one of the gods, and he has like kind of magical powers that he can heal people, but I wouldn't say it's fantasy.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's definitely more of like an enchanting and
there's magic. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know what genre to put. It crosses a lot of genres, but I wouldn't put it as like a just fan row.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah.
No, sir. But that's really random. I don't know why I thought about that.
But I would love also like dark historical romances. Like why is Kerrigan Byrne? Like why is no one writing those dark historical romance. I think Joanna Shoup kind of like toes the line with that with her like gangsters. It's not dark, but it's like, oh, they're like the bad boys instead of just like, he's a duke who sleeps around a lot and spends all his money. Like, okay, like how many times have we read that? Like, that's why I think Pam Godwin was so good and why I gravitate towards like pirate romances too, because I want that like morally gray hero who like kills people and like, but he'll kill everybody for her. Like, give me that in historicals, and we're not getting that. We're just getting like the boring heroes. Isn't Pam Godwin supposed to write another one in that series?
Yeah, she didn't release anything, but she wrote a lot last year. That was in her wrap up, like her.
She didn't release anything last year?
Nope.
I didn't even notice.
We have to be the ones to bring historicals back.
I'm gonna try. Single-handedly,
we're gonna
save
try
historical romances. We were like, all of us were so into it, and then it just like all of us, I mean like a majority of us, just kind of tapered off.
Yeah, like Whitney, My Love. I still haven't read that, but I want to.
I need to. I need to read Roy Passion's Lead. I'm so excited to read like the old school.
I am not reading that book until I can get like the original copy for myself.
Yeah. Well, and then like I was going to say that about Lisa Kleypas's book. She's like secretly updating them and not announcing it. So like isn't it in one of the Wallflower books? She took out like she was a little tipsy during a scene and like took that out.
Oh,
but like she took something out. So like the rest of it doesn't really make sense. I don't remember specifically what it was, but like she is definitely like editing her books without actually telling people she's editing her books when they're re-releasing them.
I wonder if she has a pen name.
Lisa Kleypas?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
That she's writing something else under someone else.
Oh, because Amanda Quick is Jane Ann Krantz and she's writing romantic suspense.
I literally had no idea.
I just hauled one of them in my book haul today. But Amanda Quick is someone I really want to read more of her backlist because like Ravished was so good. And I read another one that was really good. How did you not like that one? It was so good.
Maybe I DNF'd it. I don't remember.
I need to read more Teresa Medeiros though, because Yours Until Dawn, I think you would really like that one.
Can't remember if I tried to read it or not.
You would really like it. Oh my God, there's a reveal and you're just like, this is so good. So good. But I want to feel that again. And I feel like we just keep on saying that, but I really do. And it just makes me sad. Like I picked up another historical and I'm like, no, it's fine. Like I didn't even do a top historicals of the year last year because I didn't have enough to talk about.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. But I'm also excited if Sky O'Malley becomes a show. Like it got picked up to be a show. Like if that'll do anything for historical romances. I don't know. But I also think that's why I like fantasy romance so much is because it feels very historical just with magic.
Well, yeah, but like Outlander, that's a huge popular show that people love.
Yes, but the author does not consider herself a romance author. Those are long too. I think I've read 2.5.
I think I read 3 or something like that.
Yeah. The romance is really good though.
That is our episode on historical romances. We are single-handedly
bringing the genre back.
And bring it back. We're going to try. We're going to try our damn hardest to bring it back. So if you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments down below. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leave us a rating. Tell us what you thought of the podcast. And that's all I got.
Yeah. We might be bringing the historical romance readathon back in a couple months. So
the 3 queens?
Oh maybe. My God. We've been chatting, so okay. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed our Bookish Life, and we'll see you next time. Bye.